Sing it with me. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Once more. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love.
Good morning, church.
Good morning.
Well, you know, I'm here again.
There you are.
Well, for some of you who don't know me, I'm Gerald Davis. I'm the minister at Church of the Restoration. I'm on staff here at All Souls. I have been a part of this congregation for, I guess, since 2008, 7, somewhere like that. My love for this congregation is obvious, and I really, truly miss hugging you, church. And for you who don't know who I am and say, I don't know about hugging you, Reverend, let me tell you, it's okay. It's all about love, church, and that's why this church means so much to me, because they come straight out and say, we love beyond belief. Doesn't matter what you believe or if you believe. We love you. Why? Because you are made in the image of God. That means we are yoked. Church, I can preach on that, but I'm not here to preach on that so much as I am to tell you something about, I guess, the intersections of life. For you who don't know me, I am blind. I have my cane to prove it. I am part of the National Federation of the Blind, and that's an organization that is very proud to say blindness is not what holds you back. Live the life you want. Good. So, you know, I'm there. I'm all in it, and I feel so blessed to be part of organizations that understand that we are not limited. So let me get into this sermon, if you want to call it that, but I call it more a sharing, because it's all true, church. It's all true. You know, it seems that every time I'm in this pulpit, something is going on. It seems like that. I don't know whether it's planned that way or God just says, I need you to be up there at this moment. Now, Sister Barbara already said that there is going to be an occurrence that hasn't happened in 800 years. And they call it the Great Conjunction. When Saturn and Jupiter come close together, which is really millions of miles apart, but from where we are, it's going to look like they are right there, boom, straight ahead. Like, you know, you take a pin and you can say, wow, look at that star. And that star, when Jupiter and Saturn come together, it looks like a long star, like the Christmas star, like the Star of Bethlehem, church. The last time was 1226. Lord have mercy. And now here it is, 2020. Woo, 2020. We'll be glad when you leave 2020. But 2020 says, bring it back. Because these folks need to have a sign to understand that it may be a struggle, but good days are coming. So that's why I say, okay, I can, the great conjunction. I like the way that is, right? That's one thing. Also, the winter solstice starts tomorrow. Yeah. The winter solstice. That's when we began to see that the seasons are changing, which once again suggests a movement with us that may be a little uncomfortable because the seasons are changing. But that's what's happening right now. Also, there's this thing called Christmas. And it's coming up. Now, we just finished with Hanukkah. And Christmas is coming, and then we'll have Kwanzaa. So all of these holidays and greater conjunctions and stars and everything, and here comes Reverend Gerald trying to tell you something. When you're looking at all of this and feeling all kind of change, well, I want you to slow down. That's the beautiful thing about Zoom, you know. You can be in your pajamas, having a cup of coffee right there, looking at me saying toast. Here's to you, Reverend. You right on it. Well, yes, that's right, church. Right now, at this moment, I want you to actually slow down. Slow down and receive what I'm about to tell you. Because what I'm about to tell you is that struggle is okay. Now, you may say, Reverend, I'm turning this off. No, wait, don't turn it off yet. Struggle is okay, church. It's okay to fight for what is right. It's okay. And I know we don't like to fight. I was in a meeting once with an elected official, and I said, you know, we have to fight for that. And she says, I'm tired of fighting. We fight all the time. That's why we're so opposite one another. And I said, struggle is good. We're going to come out of this together as long as we stay together. You see, it's not about polarity. It's about, do you feel the pulse? Do you feel the pulse of what's moving us together? So that's what I want to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you about how things happen. Now, I did want to tell you that the other thing about me is that I am unorthodox. Yes, I am, and sometimes people are afraid because they don't know what Reverend Gerald's going to do, you know, and they say what is he going to say now, you know, and I do those kinds of things because I can, church, you know, I can. See, I'm old, church. And you know, I like baseball. And one of the things I like about baseball is that they have names for all kinds of players. They have little ways to understand, I see you. I know who you are. And I'm what is called the grizzled veteran. The grizzled veteran. I'm that pitcher in the bullpen, and all the youngsters are looking at him and saying, he can't throw hard. He doesn't have a curveball. You know, what's he doing on this team? And the thing is, church, I'm on the team because I know how to pitch. Come on. Right? That's why they call me the grizzled veteran. Come on, Grizzle. Come on. and say something, right? And so I know how to pitch, church, because it's not about me. Right. It's about what comes through me. There you go. You see, that's what separates veterans from rookies. The rookie wants to say, look at me, I can do this. The veteran says, is it feeling right? So the veteran looks at everything and makes it so that it is not about him or her, it's about how can we make this thing move together. So church, that's the other thing about why I'm here. I know God wants me to be here. So when you know God wants, why are you nervous? Why are you nervous? When you know God wants you to be where you are. Don't sit there and say, I shouldn't. Right where you are, you can be the best you can be. Right where you are. And be proud of that. So I want to talk to you this morning about those kinds of things. So I began with a Christmas story. This is a true Christmas story. Okay, so I told you I pastor a church here in Tulsa. It's right in the heart of North Tulsa on Greenwood, alias the Black Wall Street. Right there is a Unitarian Universalist church, and it's a place of love, right? But in this place of love, we have our struggles. So one Saturday morning, actually, it was the Saturday before Christmas, one year. And on Saturday morning, our church has Tai Chi, where we invite friends and neighbors to come on in and do a little Tai Chi and be a part of something bigger than who they are. So we all walked into the church, and the church was cold, and the lights didn't come on, and we realized we have no electricity. What's up with that? Did you pay the bill? Yes, we did. Why don't we have electricity? We went outside church and we saw the lines that connect the church to the electric pole were on the ground. So that was dangerous. So I telephoned our electric company, and they immediately sent someone because they said, stay away from those lines. So the person came out and disabled the lines and then said, somebody came around your church because we have a circular drive that goes all the way around the church to the other side. And somebody came and they had a high-profile vehicle that tore down the electric lines, tore down our internet access, tore down everything connected to the church. So there we were on a Saturday before the Sunday before Christmas in a cold building with no electricity. So I said to the electrician, can you do something? He said, oh, no, not me. I'm with the electric company. You know, you need to get an electrician, and it's going to be expensive because this is Saturday, and it's the Saturday before Christmas. See ya. So, church, what do we do? We're sitting there. I mean, these are friends and neighbors. Not all of them are members of the church, and those who were not said, well, bye-bye, and they left. So those of us who were said, okay, what do? We got to call the electrician, and it's going to be expensive. We don't have a lot of money. What do we do? What do we do? So I picked up the directory of our church from many, many years ago and thumbed through and found the number of a friend who used to be an electrician, but we all getting old. I didn't know if he was still in business, but I telephoned him. He said, yes. I told him what we needed. He said, well, you know, I'm retired. I haven't done electrician work in a while, but I'll come up and take a look at it. He did, church. He showed up. He took a look at it, and he said, well, if we go down to the Lowe's or Home Depot, we can buy some stuff, and I'll see if I can patch it. And we did, and we bought some stuff, and he came back, and all day long, he was up on that ladder doing what he needed to do. So another member of the church and I were the only ones left. In the cold, we were down there handing him tools, talking, trying to encourage, and he was up there on the ladder working diligently. And the sun began to creep down into the west. And it was getting dark, and he was still up there. And I said, are you okay? He said, I got this, Reverend. I got this. And then he said, try it. And we had lights. He said, I said, man, what more can I do to make you know that we love you? He said, Reverend, every month I get the UU World. And I feel so bad because I haven't been to church in so long, and I haven't paid any pledges in a longer time than that. He said, if you would just let me feel good about receiving that UU World because I've donated some of my time, that's all I need. I said, man, come on, at least I can buy you dinner. But that's okay. So I bought him dinner. He now reads his UU World confidently. And I said, this is a Christmas story. Now, let's break down that Christmas story. The Christmas story is I called out for help. When there was struggle, when there was something that gave me pause, I called out for help. God said, call this man. This man haven't talked to me in years. This man hasn't been in our church in more years. So he still said, let me see. He came, he found a friendship there because he had brought folks to the church who are now still members of the church. He had been a bit part of the church, but things happened and he moved on, divorces and moving, and you know how those things are. So, but he still had love for the community and the church, and he did what he needed to do. Now, what does that mean to you? That means that sometimes you get angry with those in authority, whether it's the church or somewhere else. And you want to divorce yourself from that. You want to step away and say, I don't need this kind of madness. And I understand that. But church, we got to stay in the game. We cannot move back, and a church like All Souls has to stay in the game. We cannot turn ourselves into ourselves when we just look at ourselves and say, how come we? It's us. We got to have that big tent, church. We are part of something much larger. Don't you understand that there are people out here who really need all souls because they have given up on religion. They have given up on any kind of understanding of something other than a physical presence. And when we start talking about spirit and hope, they go like, that's too cheesy. I don't understand those kinds of things. But when you manifest spirit and hope, that's when people get the understanding. Amen. Church, when people pass this place called All Souls, they wonder about that. Maybe they're afraid to come in. But I love that there's a sign out that says, everyone welcome. Only. Don't you? I love that. Everyone welcome only. We serve everyone only. That's it. We serve everyone only. That's the kind of thing. That's the kind of thing that makes people want to venture in. They want to say, really? Me too? Yes, you too. Well, why? You want my money? Yeah, but that not all of it. You know, we want your talent. We want your time. Yeah, we want you to be part of us because we get something from you. And that's your presence. That's what love is, church. When we embody love, church, when we embody love, then folks believe. That's when folks begin to say, well, this is real. I don't know how many times I have come up here with Lyft, L-Y-F-T, Uber, the ride sharing. And I come up to this church and people say, I always pass this church. It says All Souls. I said, yeah, that means you. And they say, well, really? I mean, everybody? Yes. It's not about white, black, native. I mean, that's where we are at this time. That's why this church has to be here. It has to be in All Souls. My goodness, if there wasn't, we got to create one. This is a place that says, I don't care who you are, where you came from. You are part of me. And who is the me? That great spirit. That spirit that says, I believe in you. You are supposed to be here. You are alive for a reason. Now, church, it's important for us to take that reason that we may be wondering what it is to be a parent, to be a teacher, to be a social worker, to be a musician. What is my reason for being here on earth? That's the struggle. That's your struggle. That's your struggle. Your struggle says, I am not just going to be get up, go to work, come home, and watch TV and go to sleep. That's not living. Living is being a part of a community that pushes you to be more than what you think you can be. See, that's living. And church, that's where we are right now. We are in such tumultuous times, and we can talk political, racial, economic, medical. I mean, we're actually arguing over whether we should wear a mask in a pandemic. Church, this is crazy. That's crazy. Of course you should. Why are we even arguing? But that's where we are right now. So does that mean you just refrain and just get away and say, no, you wear your mask and you say, how you doing to those who aren't wearing masks? And you speak to them. You don't look down on them and say, ooh. No, you speak to them. How you doing? I'm doing fine. And maybe they say, why you got that mask on? Because I believe in saving your life. Church, it's important for us to dialogue. We got to dialogue with these people. I know you say, no, Reverend, you're not serious. Yes, I am. I am serious because that is why they think ill of us. Because they think that all those liberal, tree-hugging, mask-wearing, disbelieving folk over there, they're the ones that's the problem. Church, is up to us to say, come on in and see if we're the problem. Invite folks to be a part of who we are. And it's easy now with Zoom. Just tell them, go on and, check out Zoom. Facebook, all of it, Facebook, all of that. They can go on and see what's going on at this place called All Souls. Well, one of the things I do here at All Souls is that I lead a book discussion group called All Souls Reads. And we read books that have to do with overcoming systems of oppression. What are people doing? Now, some folks say, we need to do more than read books. But I say, because I love to read books, I say, on the other hand, books are the records. They let us know when, where, how, who. And those are the records that give us that connection. So books are good to read, especially books that dispel what we tacitly agree to. Like, when the Pew Research Center asked all the white folks that they could find, what do you think of when we say black people? And the top responses were dangerous, poor, and lazy. Those were the three. That's what folks did. Now, this is when President Obama was the president. Right? And that's what folks said in the United States of America. And the Pew Research Center is a very reliable group. Poor, dangerous, and lazy. Now, those folks obviously have not read. It's important for those folks to get rid of those kind of thinking by reading people who are telling about why are folks poor? Why do you call people dangerous, and how did lazy come about? You start seeing how this country has made a narrative that says we're supposed to be in those categories. People who are not white. You're supposed to be in those categories because that will separate us. That will keep us apart, and you won't ask any questions about these people. You won't even go near them. You won't even say, how can I help you? Or do you need any help? That's what I always like to say with blind people. People see the cane and they think of the four-letter word, pity. They see the cane and they go, ooh, he's blind. And they come over to me and say, what do you need? What do you want? Where are you going? What do you, and all those questions. And I say, I'm good. I'm fine. And I twirl my cane, I'm good. It's important for me to do that for folks who have that misconception of pity, right? Pity comes about when people don't know you, and so they come to their own assumption. So it's important then that we move into areas where we communicate. So All Souls Reads had a book recently that we read called The Given Day by Dennis Lehane. This book, I choose the books, by the way. And so when people say, why do you all reading that book? Because Reverend Gerald wanted to read that. Okay, so The Given Day was recommended to me by my very good friend, Pat Newman. And Pat Newman, if you're listening, brother, I love you. And even though you said, well, I haven't seen you in a while. And I'm saying to you, Pat Newman, yes, but we still love each other. And I want you to know that and feel it. So Pat Newman, my friend, one summer said to me, because we read books, right? And we talk about books we read. He said, man, have you read The Given Day by Dennis Lehane? I said, no. He said, well, The Given Day has presence in its historical fiction. So things happen, but the dialogue is different. It has presence in Tulsa and Boston. And it talks about the police strike. When Boston went on strike, the police went on strike. It talks about the socialist or anarchist movement when they were bombing buildings and, making sure because of poor working people in condition. It had J. Edgar Hoover when he was getting ready to form the what became the Federal Bureau of Investigation. At that time, he was just working for the Bureau of Investigation. It has Black Wall Street in Tulsa. And so I said, man, that sounds like a great book. Well, it was a great book. It is a great book. It was published in 2008. But I want to focus on one little part of that book. The main character, the son of this very prominent Boston police captain, has assembled in his study district attorney and all these other police officers, and there's a banker or two, and the son, the firstborn, who is going to be a chosen one in this whole hierarchy, is sitting there. Because he's the subject. They're going to pose a question for him to go undercover and infiltrate the Boston Police Union to find out what's going on over there and infiltrate these other socialist groups to find out what's going on there so they can bust it up. So he's sitting there, the protagonist, the son, Danny, and he's thinking about all of these people around him. And he's saying, what holds these people together? What is the system that is keeping them together? And he says, it's because they all think they're doing good. The public good, the good. Even though they are plotting to undermine and disrupt and tear apart, it's for the good. And so he's saying, well, what is this good? He's sitting there unpacking. What is the system? What is it? And he starts saying it has something to do with loyalty. And it has something to do with duty. And there's this tacit understanding that around the table, some people are not invited. And those some people, he names black people. Black people are not invited around the table. They're not supposed to be part of this loyal, dutiful, honorable system that is okay in public, but underneath, that's the other part of this. You get to do all kinds of crime that's not seen because you're upholding the good. And all the other stuff that's not seen, yeah, that's fine. You can do that. There's this tacit understanding that it's okay to get away with murder. I can go down on Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I would not be convicted. Who said that? They can get away with stuff. They think they can get away with stuff because they are doing the good. That has been the problem, and that has cemented these systems of oppression because people don't know, or people know, but they don't think they should apologize, that they should do reparations. No, because they're doing the good. But we're in these changing times, church. These changing times are telling us, it's time. That's what we need right now, to understand that there is a place in all of us that is holy. Now, we call it spirit, but it's also hope. Hope, church. And we're affirming that that hope is within us. It's within you. It's within all of us. That hope that says, I will bust open that door. That says that you're not invited. Because what we represent, those folks who want to come in there, they represent the good, the real good, that good that comes from the living love of God. And if you say, I don't know that thing about God, that's okay, because God said, what is my name? What did God say his name? God said, my name is I am. So it ain't about God, it's about the Spirit in you, church. And that Spirit that I'm calling out right now is hope. I'm affirming this hope. I'm affirming hope because that hope is Spirit. That hope says it will be better. It has to be better. There is always struggle to get to the other side. But when you get to the other side, you are whole. Church, this place called All Souls opens its arms to embrace all. It may be a little uncomfortable because we only got so many. But if we all yoke together, church, arm to arm and enclose one another, we can reach everyone. All of us can be touched. All of us can feel the love that is all in us, that hope that will not let us go. Church, can we pledge to make our tomorrows become our todays? Not one day will be better, but today. Amen? Amen. Amen.